How the tour come about? Well, like I said, we share a drummer, and then we share a label. Mind Power Records. Both of our records are on that label, and the owner of that label is in foreclosure, and so it only makes sense, from that from a lot of standpoints. Really, I mean, I think when I first heard Foreclosure, Wall, our drummer, played me. Actually, I guess it was, he said, "I'm in this band. Do you want to record a solo on one of the songs?"
This is Rob Ruckus.
Hey, this is Kate Clover.
Hey guys, it's Nick Collins here from The Effect and Better Strangers.
Hi, my name's Madeline Rose.
Hey, it's Ben McKelvey.
It's Tim Howard here from Mike and the Mechanics.
Hello, I'm Amanda Lehman.
I'm Billy Harvey.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Casey Sampson from the band Twist Stop.
Hey, it's Tony from Fastball.
Hello, everybody. My name is Isaiah Mitchell.
Hey, guys. It's Matt here from the White Lakes.
You're listening to Almost Famous Magazine.
Come join us for this interview. Check it out, Almost Famous Magazine.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to The Hang right here on Almost Famous Magazine. Thank you so much for your support. Coming back to the channel for all of these amazing hangs that we have with people, subscribing, sharing these with your friends. It really means a lot to us. So please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell. You'll get an alert every Tuesday when we drop these. And as usual, we have a wide variety of artists and creatives that join us. Now, today we're going to do something a little bit different, a little exciting. We're going to learn a lot. We're going to wing it. But in the midst of it, if you notice, we have our old friend Gizz Lazlo, who's in every band that has a real estate name on the planet. Currently Foreclosure. I'm still coming up with more names. And Mike Williamson of Junior Juggernaut. They are embarking really soon, like I think, I don't know, in a couple of days on a West Coast run. It's a run because, as everyone learned the last time we talked to Gizz, if it's not 32 countries and 95 dates, it's not a tour. It's a run. So they got an upcoming West Coast run. They're going to start off in Bakersfield. Then they're heading to Sacramento, Oakland, Lawndale, San Diego, LA, and they're going to wrap it up in Ventura. So supporting their albums. Junior Juggernaut's got an album. It's been out for a little while. We're going to learn about another big explosion, and Foreclosure's album that's coming out is it the 8th?
Yes.
The 8th of November? The 8th of November, Cliffside Serenades. We're going to learn. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. So, guys, thank you for joining me. And, Mike, it's great to meet you.
Good to meet you too, man. Thanks for having me, Scott.
Absolutely. Any friend of Gizz is a friend of mine. So
what if I'm an enemy of Gizz, though?
Ooh. You know what? How do you get on Gizz's bad side? Because I'm going to tell him he's one of the happiest people I've ever met. So what is the key to getting on Gizz's bad side? Let's get that out of the way before you guys end up in a rental van together driving around California.
I'm going to say the way to get on his bad side is probably to not respond to the million reels he sends you on Instagram randomly.
Wait, so it's not just me. It's not just me. Okay.
If it's funny and it's about a guitar player, I got to send
it. Wait a minute. He gets the guitar ones. We just do ones that are liquor and cats.
Yeah.
I get band ones. I get band-related ones.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. How long have you guys known each other?
Not too long.
Not long at all, yeah.
I would say under a year.
Yeah. We just met through, our bands share a drummer, and that's sort of how we met, is through the shared drummer between us.
Now, which half of the drummer do you use does Junior Juggernaut get, and which half of the drummer does Foreclosure get?
I get the good one.
Like it's, they say that the average family is 2.6 children. You got to love the kid who might be missing an appendage just as much. So I know that's an awful joke, but please don't turn away. They get better, right? Yes.
Not much.
Who's drinking tonight? So you guys met about a year ago. Tell us how this this run came about, and some of the things you guys are looking forward to doing when you're playing together.
Gizz, you want to take it?
Go for it.
How did the tour come about? Well, like I said, we share a drummer, and then we share a label. Mind Power Records, both of our records are on that label, and the owner of that label is in foreclosure, and so it only makes sense, from that, from a lot of standpoints, really. I mean, I think when I first heard Foreclosure, Wall, our drummer, played me. Actually, I guess it was, he said, "I'm in this band. Do you want to record a solo on one of the songs?"
Oh.
And he sent it to me, and I thought it was awesome. I thought it was a really great song. I was really impressed by it.
You're the guy who did the lute solo?
Yeah, exactly. No, I did a flute, so I did my but I just instantly felt a connection to their style of music, like real strong songwriting and real like passionate and intense and rocking and all the things I really like. And I wanted to start playing shows with them. Like anytime I find a band that I dig a lot, I want to kind of like buddy up with them, just to be band buddies. And initially Wall said no, he wasn't going to play 2 sets in one night. And I was like, come on, you big baby. And then we booked a tour to, I'm calling it a tour. I'm sorry, but it's a tour to me.
Ooh, okay, now we're back to how do you get on Gizz's bad side? Calling a run a tour.
Yeah.
It'll feel like one.
So yeah, I mean, we both had records coming out within like a couple months of each other, and we're on the same label, and we're both here together. We can save on equipment by sharing equipment together, sharing band members together, and it would just made a lot of sense to play some shows together.
Well, the one drummer doesn't need 2 separate rooms, so just 'cause he's in different bands, so you save on hotel fees. So let's spend a little while. I'll be honest, I've never heard Junior Juggernaut. Tell me and everyone watching, like, what's your band like? What's it about? What kind of music you're playing, and your creative side a little bit. Let's get to know the band.
Yeah, Junior Juggernaut, I mean, I would say broadly, it's like alternative rock. It's, we get a lot of Husker Du, Sugar, Goo Goo Dolls, Dinosaur Jr. comparisons, that kind of thing. Like, big guitar sounds, big hooky songs, noisy but melodic, and I don't know, that's sort of like the theme. It's like we get thrown like 90s alt rock sort of as the sound, and that's when I started playing guitar, so that only makes sense that that's just sort of my DNA is a distortion pedal with melody, which we've kind of drifted away from distortion pedals in rock, like big noisy stuff with melody, but I can't shake it, so that's sort of what we do.
That's interesting that you mentioned that. A lot. Is it me? And correct me if I'm wrong. Gizz knows he can. We've really kind of homogenized sound lately, haven't we? Like is it me, or is it just like somebody hits on a sound, you hear it over and over again? I'm like, yeah, that's it's a different song, but it's kind of all sounds the same. So I love the fact that you're big on distortion. I mean, you get great range, you get an opportunity to make some noise and really kind of cut through in ways that I don't think a lot of people are doing these days. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like popular music is always homogenized, even if it's really good. Like, I think 90s alternative rock, those bands all do kind of sound the same also. There is a thing going on where someone did it and then they all start it's like the thing to do. The Pixies, and then people go from there. I just prefer my rock, like, 60s, every band kind of sounds like Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young. They have this folk rock thing going on. 80s, You know, there's all the hair metal bands have, you know, like fist pumping girl choruses. So there's always like whatever's popular, people fall in line behind it, but it doesn't mean they're bad. You know what I mean? It just is the style of the day. I just happen to prefer really visceral rock, and that to me is volume and noise. And I also really like a nice melody, and you don't really get that from a lot of bands today. You know, if you have like a melodic rock band, it's going to be today it's not going to be rough around the edges. It's definitely going to be, you know, whatever. But I like fighting with the song a little bit. You know what I mean? I like a little bit of a struggle with trying to get a hold of it, feeling like it's, you know, gonna get out of control a little bit.
Cool. Now, is Another Big Explosion your first album, or do you have some other albums out?
Oh no, it's our fourth album. We have been around a while. Our first one came out 2008, Ghost Poison. Then we had one called Wake, 2012. Then we had one called Witch's Hand, 2016. And then after a little bit of a hiatus, Another Big Explosion here this year.
Well, Gizz knows. There's a little bit of a theme with those first three albums, at least in the titles, right? I mean, first of all, every one of them should have dropped on Halloween, for sure, right?
Yeah.
Should not have been like, it's not doesn't resonate a springtime album to me. Hey, here's summer fun songs.
Yeah.
More like, hey, let's get ready for Halloween and get Elvira on the cover. For those who know that reference.
Yeah.
So, but like, what's the evolution of the sound? Like, when people see you on this upcoming run, how has the sound evolved and the songwriting evolved over the 4 albums?
I think from our first album to now, our first album was maybe a little rootsier. I was very much thinking of us as like mixing like Tom Petty with 90s alt rock, or Neil Young with that kind of stuff. And that pops up still some. I would say sort of just the bombast of alt rock has eaten up a bunch of that now. We still play stuff from our first record, but I think even from our second record, it was kind of getting eaten up in just more like straightforward, noisy power pop, you know, melodic rock like Husker Du and stuff like that. But definitely our first record has some rootsier stuff on it. I mean, a couple of songs you might even call like country rock or alt country, something like that. But I always looked at it like as Lemonheads do Graham Parsons covers, you know, and stuff like this. So I never thought of us as an alt country band, but we were on a label that had a bunch of those kinds of bands on it. So we got a little bit grouped in with that, even though we still had like the Marshall Stacks. And I remember, in fact, one of our shows, there was an alt country scene here in LA, and I can't remember the woman's name. She would book shows at like the Echo, and she came to see us because, you know, she'd heard we were an alt country band. And I remember distinctively her walking out after like 2 songs and saying, "That's not a country band." Because, you know, it was loud and big solos and stuff like that. So that has always been there. But now I'm really just the purity of where I originally came from, which is alt rock. You know, that's just sort of what I grew up on and what's in my hands and heart. As far as it's, you know, it's not any sort of preconceived notion. It's just sort of what comes out of me when I strap on a guitar, you know?
Well, I mean, if you guys kind of started off and were mistaken or qualified into that country vein, you should dust off some of those from the first album, because you're playing Bakersfield first time out on the record.
Well, we still play songs from that first album. We still play 2 or 3 songs off that first record. So it's, you know, it's all Junior Juggernaut to me. But you know, that's sort of like, if you're going to talk about the differences, it was more of like an Americana alt rock thing, and then it was beaten into submission by my pedal board.
Oh, that's awesome. As someone who hasn't seen the band perform live, and I'm going to go out on a limb and think that you started to formulate your set list. If I'm coming to a show, give me 2 or 3 highlights that are going to get me to that show. Like what are a couple of the songs that I really want to look out for, or some of the moments in the set that are just like going to blow my mind?
Well, the single off the new album, Everything I Touch, would be something to, check out. And maybe the first song on the record, Come Break My Heart. I think it's a good sort of like mission statement for the band. If you like listen to that, you sort of like get it. You know what I mean? I'd say those two. I listen to the new record. The set's going to be new record heavy. It's really almost all the new record, and then a couple songs from our first record. And then we ignore the second and third record.
Now, if you weren't starting in Bakersfield, you may ignore the first one too, right?
No, I really like that record, and I like playing those songs. I really do.
Oh, I'm gonna have to get my hands on your music and check it out for sure. And then Gizz, we've talked about your new album previously. Cliffside Serenades has been in. There you go. On vinyl, everybody. For those of you with a turn.
Finally.
It's
2 sides.
Oh, you sprung for the extra side, huh?
Yeah.
Wow, you paid for side 2.
And the sticker. It got a sticker. Dude, I paid more than $10.
Please, I've been on a buying spree for albums for my niece. Albums are not inexpensive anymore, so please support them. Buy the albums from both bands, and appreciate a good album. Gizz, you've been working on this a while. You went through a lot of personal heartache and tragedy. We've talked in the past that some of the lyrics, although the music itself, the fundamental music is pretty up, some of the lyrics on the lyric side are kind of darker and deeper. What are a few songs on the album that you're going to be performing out on this run that you really want people to listen for and pay some attention to?
We're playing most of the new record because they're the only songs we actually know. We have 2 new songs that we'll be doing in the set. But for me, like, the standout songs are like Carousel, which we open up with. I really like that one. And then our ender, Careful What You Wish For. But for me, what I'm excited about on this run of shows is we're going to be playing Moon at Noon. And Mike played on it. And I want to hear what his guitar solo is going to sound like. Us, because I doubt we're going to rehearse with you. We're probably going to be at sound check and in Bakersfield, and, I'm really looking forward to that, I've only seen Junior Juggernaut once, and I saw him at the Corbin Bowl, and I was just deeply impressed. All those influences do come out in their music, and what better band to go on tour with, on a run with,
Oh man, you were doing so well, Gizz, but I saw you had a couple extra gulps from your cup, and I know that you're doing your. I can only imagine what kind of lighter fluid's in there.
I keep having one of my friends come in and going. So it's obviously the game is 2-0 right now. Don't know who.
Oh boy.
But
well, yeah, I know. How are you? I mean, you gotta get this World Series all tied up. By the time we air this, it may very well be. But how could you handle being out on the road and baseball at the same time?
I love baseball, but this year my father passed away, so I did not watch a single game. I think I watched the All-Star game, and that was about it. And now, when the World Series or the championship started, I was just like, all right, my mom and I sat down. We've watched pretty much every single game together. So, you know, it's kind of cool, you know, that this is happening, and sadly, I don't get to experience it with my dad, which would have been so much fun. You know, we watched it in '81 together. So, but again, these feelings that I get are the ones that inspire the lyrics that I write. So I was actually talking to Lewis the other day about some of our new songs, and I recorded a demo for one. And when I listened back to it, it was kind of like a happy kind of song, you know, like somebody getting over their struggle type of theme. And when I was reading it back, I was just like, I just don't buy it, you know. Like I have to write dark songs, so it's a little difficult now because I'm really in a good place and I'm happy again. So trying to dive back into that, but I've kind of found the secret. I wrote a song the other day for us, and I just got really hammered and got sad, and then decided, I'm going to write tonight. So I'm going to hopefully record it tonight or tomorrow night when I have some time.
You got really hammered. I'm shocked.
That's what I do.
Was it on? What'd you mix with Tang? Did you mix anything with Tang that night?
No, actually, I had some whiskey and Coke last night, and a bunch of Twisted Tea.
In the whiskey and Coke, or just a sidecar?
Like a chaser for a chaser, you know.
There you go. Well, you know,
I think one of the things I'm also looking forward to is getting to know Mike a little bit, you know, better on tour. We've hung out once here when he did my podcast, and we had some drinks together. So I know he drinks. So nobody does. So at least I got.
No one in your band does?
Not really. No. Mark will have maybe one or two if he's not driving. Wall, really, not really.
This is the other benefit of being in a band with Wall is I always get his drink tickets.
We played one show, and I looked at everybody, and I was the one that got all 10 drink tickets, and I cut them in twos, and I went here, and everybody was just like, no, here, you can have them. So I had all 10 tickets. I was pleasantly drunk that night.
I'm gonna say,
so when I play the solo live in your band on tour, do I get foreclosure drink tickets for being in the band for the one song?
If they give me their tickets, yeah.
I think that deserves at least one ticket.
I think I get a ticket every night for that. Yeah.
Okay.
Which so you guys, you know, have done runs up and down the West Coast before, whether it's with these bands or others, and you've been to a lot of clubs. Tell me a little bit about the clubs you're playing in these areas, and out of all the clubs you're playing, is there one that's like your favorite, in a specific aspect that makes any of these clubs really worth it? You know, not worth it, but you know, interesting to you.
Gizz, you got to answer. I've never played any of these places that we're playing. Not a single one.
We've played the Golden Bull in Oakland before. The singer for Sam I Am, Jason Bebout, he's one of the bartenders there. And so I like that club a lot. It's in Oakland, so at night it gets a little sketchy, but there's a nice burrito place right down the street, and there's plenty of booze inside, so, you know. And then another club is the Corbin Bowl, where I saw Judah Juggernaut, but I think we're playing that one by ourselves.
Yeah, we're not on that one.
And then Ventura at the Sewer, Sansuchi. Really nice little spot.
Sacramento is audio nerd, and that's a record store, I think. I'm a big record collector, so I'm excited anytime I get to play around stacks of records. That's fun for me.
I went to see the Dwarves at Headline Records one time, and
oh wow,
Blag just started grabbing vinyl and just chucking it, you know, like.
Well, I guess, does Mike know Sharif?
No, I don't think so. You don't know Sharif from Beeford?
Well, he's a big record nerd too. Mm-hmm. So now that you've announced this, we're going to put you on the spot.
Yeah,
I can see you've got your records there.
Yeah, I got more you can't see too. In fact, before you put me on the spot, I'm going to tell you. A week ago, I received. I wish I had it with me. It's in the other room. An anonymous typed letter sent through the USPS mail to me from a neighbor telling me to turn my stereo down because I'm vibrating their house.
Wow. Nice.
They said,
have you framed it? Did you send?
Yeah, turn your stereo and your guitar down. It's vibrating my house and it's awful.
Did you send that off to a nice frame shop to have it for your wall?
You have to.
I know. I gotta figure out which one of these motherfuckers is sending me anonymous letters through the mail, so they can't be picked up on my Ring camera, dropping it in my mailbox. Is what they're thinking.
If you know anyone who works in forensics, get them to do a DNA test on it, and then go around and get like spit swabs from your neighbors.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, but put me on the spot now. Put me on the spot.
Okay, so this is going to be hard. Okay.
Yeah.
You talked about a lot of different influences that have impacted your music.
Yeah.
But in that room that you're in, show us like your top 3 albums that if you were going to take them to their grave, you would, and why. Just go pick some while Gizz and I are just
okay. So. This is easy enough. Okay.
Oh, it's wow. See, I thought it was hard because like sometimes people are like, shit, I got to check my playlist. I got to check this.
No, I know what is important to me. Okay. I'll be back.
Gizz, is he going to show us the Foreclosure album?
I don't think I have one. I just got mine the other day. I haven't even opened it. Still,
maybe there's LA Slumlords in there. I don't know. Speaking of, while we got the time, Gizz, you know what we got to bring up that just hasn't happened.
You haven't interviewed James yet?
The busiest man in rock and roll, James. I mean, how many shout outs do we have to do to get him off the mark here? I mean, James, come on, buddy. I'm literally dying for this. I'm literally cannot wait to put you on the spot because all the other podcasts with all these other people, I got the dirt, man. So it's gonna be painful.
By the time you get his interview, the record will probably be out.
So
we haven't started recording it yet. So
good thing I'm also patient.
I think he's shy.
I've seen him on stage. What does he have to be shy about?
I don't know.
He didn't hide behind the speaker.
He knows you know me, and you're going to ask some questions. I'm your Nardwuar.
So we're going to go from the guy who was like, why haven't I been invited to be on this podcast too? I'm afraid to be on this podcast. I've never felt so powerful before.
Yeah, I'm going to give you some dirt. Ask these questions. Make them suffer. I want to see him go.
James, the longer you go, buddy, the worse it's gonna get. Just telling you, it's gonna get a lot worse. But now things work out with this run. Have you guys already started talking about maybe doing another run together, or is there any other plans?
I hope. I hope, and I think once we do,
I want to go higher. I want to go up. I want to do Seattle, Portland, stuff like that. I want to do that. I wish we could do that this time, but we don't really have the time. But I want to do that with you guys to further north stuff.
Yeah, I want to leave the state. Shit, I want to leave the country. Out of all of us, I think Mark and I are the ones that are most like ready to go on tour. You know. And
no. You're going on the runs. You're going on the run.
Tour, like let's go for a month.
Okay.
You know?
I mean, in my band, and your band, Wall's work schedule is what dictates sort of when, because Wall's a college professor, so like summers are easy, because he has all that time off. This tour is built around a couple weekends, so he's able to do it. And then Noah, who's our bass player, also has his own band that he fronts that is very active. And so that also takes some scheduling stuff, But anyways, I've gone and got some records to show you.
All right. So tell us about them and what do you love them? Because one of the Gizz knows I love getting people into other music. And this is a great vehicle to turn some people on to things they may have not heard before.
So, like top couple albums of all time for me, Sugar, Copper, Blue. Interestingly, it did not land for me when I initially heard it. When I actually got It was one of the records I got from, you know, those like Columbia House things, buy 10 CDs for $1 or whatever. And I got it in that. And I was aware of Husker Du. In fact, my previous band in like college had been compared to Husker Du, even though I wasn't really listening that much to them. But anyways, I got this and I liked it, but it was a little too perfect for my like punk rock brain at the time. But year after year, I kept listening until it's clearly one of the greatest pieces of music ever recorded. It's like an incredibly, it's flawlessly written, flawlessly recorded, flawlessly mixed. It is like send it up into outer space, show aliens what like melodic alternative rock is. This is the one I would send into outer space. It's just perfect. It's just an incredible record. I love Bob Mould. I love his guitar playing, his guitar tone, his voice. Everything here is just really, the first 3 songs back to back I call the Holy Trinity, because it's like those 3 songs into each other sequenced to me, music doesn't get better than that. It literally is like a religious experience every time I put this record on and I just sit and listen to those 3 songs. I'm like, they don't make songs better than that. So Sugar, Copper, Blue. These are all original pressings too, for my record nerd friends out there. This is an original German pressing because it wasn't released in the States on release on vinyl. It is now, but I don't do that. Anyways, this is my #1 album of all time, Dinosaur Jr., Where You Been? An original pressing. This also, you know, Dinosaur Jr., when they came out, Jay described them as ear-bleeding country. And that's the name of a greatest hits record of theirs. And that's sort of what I was thinking Junior Juggernaut was early on, ear-bleeding country music, because it's like open chords, and I feel like they got more that way also as they went along, because Jay's chording originally was a little obtuse. It was a little he was doing some weird chording that would make it sound very definitely indie rock. This is the record where it's like straight up classic rock. It's not it's just big classic rock open chord anthems that feel very Crazy Horsey, very Neil Young-y, but you know, with more noise and certainly more volume. This to me is also like, I can listen to this front to back and it feels like home. You know, it's just really, it's an incredible record. This is another favorite, Blue Cheer, Vincebus Eruptum, a 60s record. More noise. People say this is like the first heavy metal album. I completely disagree with that. Because this predates Sabbath by, I don't know, a couple months or something, you know, but it's most definitely like power blues. It's definitely Jimi Hendrix influenced. Have you heard this, Gizz?
Yeah.
But when I first put this on, this is the mono pressing, which sounds way better than the stereo pressing. And neither of them actually sound very good. It's recorded very poorly, but I felt like an immediate kinship when I first heard this record. Someone that I knew just recommended, because I like, you know, 60s psychedelic rock, whatever. And they said, check out Blue Cheer. And it doesn't sound like the birth of metal to me. It sounds like the birth of noise rock to me, because the solos are so fuzzy and so all over the place and you see pictures of them and there's just like stacks of, you know, just like 10 fucking full stacks behind them. And that is something that really appeals to me. So this is, again, sort of like Dino Jr. taking like classic rock and amping it up. This was like taking blues and, you know, Cream also in this ballpark, but this is so much more, less refined than that. You know what I mean? This is three guys like bashing and making noise, and I love it so much. I got two more here.
Yeah.
Ragged Glory by Neil Young, Crazy Horse.
I was gonna say there has to be a Neil Young in there, and if it's not at least close to Live Rust, it's got to be at least include Crazy Horse.
This is my favorite Crazy Horse album, and I was so excited. I went and saw them on tour earlier this year. They played San Diego, and me and Noah, my bass player, went to see them. And it was extremely Ragged Glory heavy. It was like, I don't know, they played like 12 songs or something. And I think like 6 of them were from Ragged Glory. And I was just losing my mind because this is like the record, man. This is not a record that's filled with hits. So it's so cool when you go see Neil Young and he's just like, we're playing Ragged Glory tonight. I know you guys want Heart of Gold, but we are playing Ragged Glory. for whatever reason, tonight we're playing Ragged Glory. And that was the only show on that tour that they did that. So I was really stoked. But this, again, is what I love, fuzzy guitars, lots of solos, well-written songs, heartfelt stuff, but it's got that foot-stomping, fuzz box shit going on that I just can't get enough of. And I'm going to throw you for a loop here. Probably my favorite hip-hop album of all time, The Great Adventures of Slick Rick. This album is so fucking good. I love this record. This record, I am an old-school hip-hop fan. And the storytelling on this record is insane. Like, you just sit there, and it's like hearing a little short story, and it's got such great wit. And it's so smart. It's so smart. I love this record. Since I was a kid, this has been the one for me. And I was so lucky to see him finally live earlier this year. He played a show in Venice. I went to see him play live. And I fucking love Slick Rick. Just incredible storytelling.
So I've got to ask for one more then. I got to ask for one more.
Yeah.
I guess you don't have to go. You don't have to get the album, but
yeah.
When you're not playing your own music, right, and you just want to kind of chill and relax, what's your comfort food? Either genre or an album that like you're like it's my tomato soup and grilled cheese. I just want to veg out to it.
You know what? I don't do that. I don't. I buy so many records that I don't revisit that often. There's always something new. Like, I literally have like 100 records sitting there in my new arrivals section, just waiting to be played. So often for me, vegging out and the comfort food is just listening to something new. Actually, that's what I like to do is like put this new one on, and then I might listen to it a few times before I put it away. I mean, these records here, I obviously revisit, religiously. But I'm looking at thousands of records that I'm not going to listen to again because I got more of the way to be fucking listened to.
I'll be honest with you. I sold all my vinyl years ago. Everything I do now is I've got 1 million+ songs on a hard drive. I buy music almost every single day. I buy someone's music. I love it that you're buying albums. For everyone watching, you always know I talk about this. You've got to support your musicians. The main way that they make money nowadays, buy their albums, support them by going to see them, buy a shirt, a pin, whatever, but buy it and support musicians. Although you can listen to the 2 albums that these bands have put out on digital, but you know what? Show them your love. Buy music. If you care enough about supporting musicians, please support them with your dollars. Buy music, records, buy it on iTunes, wherever. Pick it up at a show, but support musicians through buying their music. Great art isn't for rent.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm sure Gizz agrees with that too. It's like, you're right. You know, you can listen to this stuff on Spotify, but Gizz and I aren't going to see anything from that. And it costs money to go record this stuff, and it costs time. Even if, you know, we're mixing at Wall's house, which is what happened, it's still time. It's days and days and days and days and days and days and months and weeks and years that we put into this. And man, it would be cool if you threw $20 at us so we can do it again next time. Yeah.
Well, I just bought three pieces yesterday for my niece. They were $20 a piece, and I was happy to hand it over so she can have that album listening experience. She's gonna be 14 pretty soon. She's not watching. She doesn't know this, but she is getting. I've already got about 20 different albums, and she loves like 80s stuff. She's getting Madness. She's getting Blondie. She's getting Adam Ant. She's getting all the really cool stuff that came out around that time, along with a few other special ones thrown in. So it's the experience that she's having. I'm living vicariously through it because Amoeba Records has all of my old vinyl. Cataloging around the country. So maybe somebody else watching this has got it. Mike,
maybe I bought some of it, yeah.
You never know. Especially if it was like Madness, Elvis Costello, that kind of stuff. Ska, New Wave. Mike, it has been great to get to know you. Gizz, what?
Ska.
Gizz hates ska.
Oh, please. I met you through punk rock bowling and Madness was there, dude. Come on.
Was I there? No.
No. You were drunk in another club. But you were at the Double Down for Status Juice. But Mike, it's been great to know you. Get to know you and really appreciate the suggestions on music. Everybody go out, check out Junior Juggernaut's music. There'll be links below. And of course, our friend Gizz Lazlo, the happiest man in music. And I've said it before and I'll say it again, especially when he's behind a drum kit. He is happy as a puppy looking at a bone.
Look, I can do that too.
There you go.
There you go. There you go. Pick these up, support these bands, go see them on this run so that they can go out and do a tour. As always, everybody, thanks for joining us. It's been a great hang. We will do this again soon, guys. Definitely, Mike. We will connect. I got an idea for a hang that I'm going to definitely include you and Sharif on for sure. I think it'll be a fun one to do. So, guys, be safe out there. Have a great time. All the success, Gizz, with the new album coming out soon.
Thanks, man.
And we will see everyone soon. Thanks for hanging with us. Bye for now.
Come to a show, man. Come to a show.
Will do. I will try. I'm in Dallas, and I'm on a little bit of a travel restriction right now.
To the next one. We got to go.
Maybe if you guys get to Dallas.
Yeah,
come on to run Texas.
Yeah.
So,
good. I'm into it.
Make it happen. All right. Bye for now, guys. Good to see you.
Three, two, one.